Okay, I'm going to explain about this area that I'm highlighting now and how it's supposed to be used. You will be aware of I mean, you are a broiler, a poultry farmer, so there are different strains of birds that are used. Depending on who your supplier is, you have the Isa Brown and things like that. Now, I like the idea of helping farmers intelligently analyze the performance of their birds. So in this first column here, this yellow colored cell, you'll be able to enter the list of the different strains you use on your farm. Okay, I'm getting some noisy assholes here in the cafe. Instead of getting out there, just making a nuisance of themselves. Anyway, so you put in the different descriptions of the strains you use. Okay, once you do that, they become available in the drop menu. So let's say, for instance, I would just hypothetically put in green strain. I mean, it doesn't exist. I'm just doing an example. It becomes available here. Now, what happens then is you look at your first cage line. I imagine the cage lines. I don't think I need to talk about that. So your cage line 1, for instance, you have to number your cage lines and consistently follow that as you're using this application, so that you take the information from the same place all the time. So cage line 1, you would at what age did the birds get into that cage line, and what strain did they belong to? Is it the black strain, the brown strain, or whatever? And then the date on which they got in. Okay, so point of lay birds came in at what age? Yeah, so you put that in. It's going to help the program to calculate their age in lay. Okay, in the spreadsheet itself, when you get back to the layer table, for instance. The same thing you do cage line 2. You put in the cage number, what age were they when they got in, what strain they belong to, what date did they get in. You know that sometimes these things don't happen all at the same time, so you do that. That's for the layers, okay? And that's for the first pen. There are 3 pens normally in the application, but I have only limited this monthly version to 2 pens. So the second pen, you have also 3 cage lines. Most likely you just need one, because you told me you have just 1000 layers. Okay, so cage line 1, you repeat the same process, put in the age. This is important. You get it right, then you'll be able to know. So the system will always be telling you the age in lay of each of the groups of birds, and you'll be able to relate that to the performance of the birds, as they lay, the hen day percentage. Okay, here they go again. Anyway, now the broilers, the same thing. With the broilers, we have the same logic. At what age, when they become growers and you take them in, so at what age did they get in? I don't know what system you use, if it's the floor system or if it's a cage system. The point is, you want to, at what age did you begin to track them in terms of productivity? So you put that in. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to go on here. The connectivity is bad, and I have some idiots here making noise like, it's getting on my nerves. Anyway, then the chicks, the same thing. What age did they get into the cages or into the rearing unit? Just for you to track the age against the growth rate and things like that. For instance, with the broilers, you're going to be checking average weight gain. So you want to see at what rate they are gaining that weight relative to their age and all of that. That gives you an idea. For instance, you might want to check the efficiency of your feeding, how well the feeding is contributing to their growth rate. Now on this side, I'll take you to the spreadsheet. I'll show you where this applies. On this side, you just need to list the names of the vaccines you use and the drugs you use for the birds. These will become available in the spreadsheets for layers and broilers and chicks. As and when you use them, you just find out, you click in a cell like this under the vaccines column, and you'll be able to enter any of these names. It will pop up, and you'll be able to choose the one that you administer to the birds. That's basically. Now let me take you quickly to the layers table, data entry table, to see an example of how this works. It's the same structure generally for the other tables. Now, if you look here, you can see what the drop menu is. So you're able to decide, okay, in the cage line 1, this is the one that's there. So you've put in those description of strains on the other side, then they become available in drop menu here. In these areas where you have white background with blue text on it, those are the areas where you can make changes. Okay, any areas you see that are colored and that have black text on them, then you cannot make changes to those areas. So if I double click here, it gives you the message saying it's protected. If I double click here and try to post, let me try and post an entry here, it tells me the same thing. It won't post the entry. But where you have the white background is where you do that.